All right, good evening. I just finished up work and got to the farm, so I'm gonna change my clothes and I will catch up with you guys in the barn. All right, I am changed and in the barn. Just check on things, see what's progressed. Anything new? Doesn't look like it. So on today's agenda is we are going to process and put the kids out of the kidding pens out into the regular pen, and I'm just going to show you guys how I do that. It's pretty quick and simple procedure, but I thought it'd be kind of cool for you guys to kind of see how I doctor up baby goats. All right, so to treat these little kids in Canada, it's recommended for white muscle disease that we give them selenium. So I use Cellon E. I just get this at my local PV Mart. It's cheap. They only get a little quarter cc, and that seems to help keep that disease, or that disease is caused by a mineral deficiency or vitamin E. And then we also give them a shot of penicillin, just a cc of that. I've had issues in the past with naval infections, and it seemed to clear up once we switched to treating them with some penicillin. Because like I said, they don't have the greatest immune system, and it's something that they, as preventative. So I usually like to do it before the kids get out of the kidding pen, because you give them another 4 or 5 days and you better be a track star in trying to catch them. So I'll just set you guys up here for now. Oh, I forgot my syringe for the penicillin, so I'll grab that. You'll find I am quite forgetful and will make multiple trips to get stuff. So just use this little syringe here, short little needle. Said a cc is all they need, and it kind of helps keep them fight infections. I'll set you guys up right here. So typically I just grab it and I get everything set up before I pick the kid up, so I'm not trying to do things with one hand. So I pick the kid up, I go between its shoulder blades, give him a shot. And there, they are done. I'll get the next one drawn. Get it ready. Pick up the second kid. Repeat the process. A little bit of a discomfort. Like I said, it helps them in the long run. Those ones are registered, so I will have to get a weight on them. I have a weight on them. I just got to put that. I have that documented. They're actually born before I decided or got my camera and stuff to take video and stuff. So I am gonna switch over to the next ones and get them done, and we'll check back in once they're out of the group. All right, so I've got them all processed, is what I would call them. It's a terminology that we use. And so they kind of kick them out. I usually pick one or two, and they usually squawk, and that way mom comes out and finds them. We always seem to get one who thinks they need to come in and investigate said kidding pen. So we'll let them out. Mom usually goes and stretches her legs, and they do too. I'll let this other doe out. I used to get these spindle panels back here, but the goats were so rough on them they would break them. And so last year I got these ones, and I much prefer them. They're a lot more heavy duty. And like I said, goats are notoriously rough on stuff. That's what a lot of people don't know about goats, is they are a force to be reckoned with. They are not nice to each other, that's for sure. They usually just pick on each other, and they're only about cute and friendly when they're about that size. Once they get a little bit older, they are quite grumpy or don't get along with each other. So I just got to move this over a little bit, and then I got to find an extension cord. I always like to provide a little heat lamp. That way the kids will find that heat lamp eventually, and they'll come in here and it'll be a safe spot. And when they're about 3-4 weeks old, I'll introduce creep feed and start feeding them. It also helps take the load off the mother nursing once the kids start on a bit of creep. It's quite amazing how young they are when they start on whole feed. Like, they'll start eating hay and pellets probably at 3 weeks and be on it full bore by at least week 4. And that was kind of the part of the reason why I switched from feeding a silage-based diet to my does, even when they were milking. The kids would get into the silage, and I'd have to deal with, I was fighting stomach ulcers, and they would eat too much grain, and they weren't eating proper protein, and so I was getting poor growth rates. The does kept good body condition and produced lots of milk. It put the kids backwards. So we're back to, like I said earlier, the KISS rule: keep it simple, stupid. A complete pellet with dry hay, and that way it's good for the goats. Another reason too we like to have the creep area is the little kids aren't as welcomed by everybody else as their new mums. So that's one thing they figure out real quick, is that mom's the only one that likes them, and everybody else doesn't care too much for them. So it's always a good sign when there's a new mom that she's aggressive and trying to keep them away. But like I said, that baby's only 2 days old, and they learn real quick who to trust and who to stay away from. So anyways, I'm going to track down that extension cord, and I'll show you with the heat lamp, and I wouldn't be surprised that 20-30 minutes that these little guys have figured out where that heat source is. All right, well, I just finished routing my extension cord. I don't know if you guys can see that. Real professional. It's a temporary solution that became a permanent solution. If you're a farmer, you know what I'm talking about. So we got a nice little warm spot for them. They're likely to check that out. You can see the mom here is calling for her kids, and typical kid fashion, they're not really listening because they've got something fun to do. So I might get my thumbnail shot for the start of this video. And again, thanks for tuning in. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe and like the video. Will help grow the channel. And like I said, I've got lots of content planned going forward. Might look a little slow, or maybe these videos don't look as professional as some of the other ones. I'm learning. But till next time, keep her between the ditches.